Hey guys, how's it going? So we've been talking about infinite combos on this channel for quite some time, and I mentioned when Akshan got revealed several weeks ago that there were plenty of infinite combos that I wanted to build around this idea of, well, both the Absolver's Resurrection and Fount of Power, just like discounting your cards leads to really insane combos. And so I present to you guys a final version of a deck that I built today on stream. And this is the infinite combo deck to end all infinite combo decks. I can guarantee you guys this deck will literally get hotfixed in the next 2 or 3 days, the same way that they hotfixed my Zephyr Sage deck. For those of you guys who remember that was like a year ago at this point, in literally 2 days. The thing is, unlike some of the other infinite decks that you guys might have seen on this channel, this one is not a meme. This is literally a very toxic tier 1 deck that will absolutely devastate the ranked metagame, at least at a high level, because it's kind of tricky to play, but it will absolutely devastate ranked if the devs leave it untouched, which again, like I said, they won't. So what makes this deck so unfair? The biggest thing is that our infinite combo is inherently undisruptible. There's no kind of removal that will single-handedly stop this combo from going off. And we're even very resilient against aggro strategies because we have Eye of the Dragon, which is, itself pretty insane. There are a lot of different ways you can use Akshan for infinite combos. Initially, I was thinking, when I was having the idea a couple weeks ago, I was thinking about like a PNZ version, but I don't think that can make sense. And largely that is because you do need Eye of the Dragon to shore up your matchups against aggro. This card is kind of like the one card anti-aggro tool. But once you've played 2 copies of the Fount of Power, your Navori Conspirators cost 2 mana, which means you can infinitely chain 2 Conspirators off of each other, which will infinitely give you more Warlord's Palaces, provided you have a little bit more recall so that you can recall Akshan. Basically, it is a very reliable, very undisruptible kind of infinite combo. And of course, you have to ask, how are we getting 2 copies of the Warlord's Horde? And the answer is through either Promising Future before it flips, or Zephyr Sage you can use after it flips, because of course Zephyr Sage can create an exact copy of the Warlord's Horde spell that it creates. And again, with this deck, you are basically always going for Fount of Power. For the first one, you're always going for the Predict and then draw one. And for the Horde, you're basically always going for Fount of Power, and you're just using this card over and over again infinitely. And once you get this rolling, your opponent will have no way to respond to you. Even if they have mana to be able to try to kill your Akshan, you have tools to save it, and your tools are going to be 0 mana, or ways of having more Akshans with stuff like Rite of Calling, right? There's no part of this combo apart from the initial landmark, which they can kill the initial landmark if they're using a landmark removal deck. There's no part of this combo that is even remotely disruptible. Now, you might ask at this point, Swim, how are you closing the game out? Normally these kinds of infinite combo decks use Veteran Investigator to be able to deck out the opponent in a single turn without letting them gain mana or gain a new card, right? You don't want to let this go to the next turn, especially because this is a temporary buff, Fount of Power, and of course, you are ending the game this turn. There's actually a single card in this list that will end the game with this combo on that turn, given your infinite recursive units being played. And actually, I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll have to see in the game, but I think it'll be, if you haven't spotted it, it'll be a little bit of a surprise. And honestly, it's a really, really funny way for this deck to end games. And I'm glad, because it's also the most efficient way for this infinite combo to close out games on the specific turn. It was actually, the card suggested was by Twitch chat at the time. Really great suggestion, and ended up making it in the deck immediately. So that's it. Like I said, this is a tier 1 deck. It will not be going on my website because it will get hotfixed in 2 days. This deck is patently unfair. The only 2 ways of countering it are by either using an aggro deck or by using landmark removal. Most things can't use landmark removal, and against aggro decks, they only counter us if we don't draw Eye of the Dragon. Now, for those of you guys who want to try the deck for yourselves, because it is a fun and unique combo to pull off, and you're only going to have a couple of days before they hotfix it, I'm putting the link to the deck code in the pinned comment of this video. It is pretty cheesy and pretty degenerate as a deck. I would not personally. I've stopped playing this deck. I built this in actually a pretty fast amount of time. I built it in something like 5 hours. Normally, you might, I'm very thorough with my deck builds, but I didn't want to play this more because it's literally unfair. And I think at a certain point, it's okay playing it for a few games and getting the combo off once, and that's fine just to have the experience. But at a certain point, if you're like spamming ranked games with this or something over the next couple days before it gets hotfixed, I wouldn't just try to spam all the games, because it is a little bit abusive, right? Like you are abusing an unintentionally broken combo. But there's nothing wrong with playing the deck a few times if you just want to get the combo off once before it gets fixed. That's perfectly fine. Just don't literally spam it. Just don't try to get every game in you can for the next 48 hours, right? There's a big difference between those two things. But yeah, that's the most disgusting deck Runeterra has ever seen. Hopefully you guys don't see this in too much of your games over the next day or two. And yeah, enjoy the game that we played from earlier today. I only have time to show you one game from earlier today because this deck takes a very long time to close out the infinite combo. All right, and here we go. This is it. We're infinite. We just need to get to 0 mana Zephyr Sages. And now our Zephyr Sages is 0 mana. And now we can just start killing this guy. I swear to God, if I lose to this shit on my ranked games, I'm unsubscribing to you, uninstalling this game, reporting you to Riot, burning my swim body pillow, and swearing never to fall in love with another streamer ever again. I'm sorry, dude. I mean, the Eye of the Dragons just are able to keep this live. Riven Braum. I can actually keep this entire hand. This hand looks perfect. What the fuck? So this is literally like the dream hand. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Like Sonic Wave Retreat, and Akshan. These are the ones you want early, because you have so much like reliable draw cycle that you just don't need the others early at all. I mean, what is he gonna do? Culling me? Whee! Did you realize that the whole deck building process of this was just removing Shurima cards for Ionia cards? Yeah, basically. Like every single decision point, we just removed the Shurima card for an Ionia card instead. Yep, pretty much. All right. I have no idea what his deck is. Riven Braum, Tavern Keeper, isn't really doing anything. Fucking Braum. I mean, he can't let my Akshan get a free strike off. So his Braum is gonna level in 20 turns from now at this rate. What the hell? All right, sounds good, dude. Let's go. I mean, spending my mana on a free predict. I think Scrying Sands will actually hit nothing else in this matchup. I just want to focus on accelerating. Oh, you got the free Mighty Poro. Wait, that's broken. All right, a second spell to cast this turn would be kind of nice. Honestly, his Braum level up can't matter possibly as much as Akshan. So like if he takes that block, I can only ever be happy, right? Like this is worth much more. I don't give a shit. All right, a second spell here would be nice. I mean, the Draggling isn't useless. I think this is fine to just do a predict. Need Conspirator early. Okay, so it's like a hybrid Crimson deck. Sounds good. Oh, he's dragging my Dragonling. Wait, that's nuts. All right, so Akshan can do a solid block here if I'm willing to just pre-commit retreat, which is fine. I kind of want to replay this turn anyway. I could also just pre-commit recall. I think pre-committing recall is probably a little bit better here, right? And I'm actually fine just stopping 3 damage. Yeah, there's no reason to use Palm or something. I want to save that for something scarier. But we have so much recall that we can use this pre, and even if he did something like a Culling Strike or something, we would just retreat again, right? That's the important thing, where you can hit enough recall to do that. So now my Akshan's leveled, and we've got the Relic of Power coming after that as well. Howling Abyss. Oh, here we go. Oh, wait a second. He could just get like a leveled Viego. All right, and it's always predict and draw 1. Literally always. Okay, so Preservarium, we just want more combo pieces. We have infinite mana right now, so it's not gonna matter. I don't know. I mean, Droplet can be really nice. Like, Droplet is so clean after the combo as well. Ooh. I don't mind if I do. Alright. And I mean, he's never killing us on his next attack. And he's only getting one more attack for the rest of the game. That's it. He's not getting more than one attack here. Not a chance. So, ideally, the Akshan could be leveled this turn. If we go in for a double discount. It'd have to be really mana efficient. Alright, I think this is good here. Don't need to drag or anything on this attack. Oh, his Brahm's leveling. Oh, it's actually not even close yet. I mean, honestly, he can't really do anything scary. I wouldn't mind forcing him to play a spell by just Sonic Waving now. I think this is kind of the best Sonic Wave I'm getting, right? Because I want to trigger the Horde anyway, and I might want to enable Grappling Hook this round. It's giving value to a freeze. Alright. So what's he got off of Howling Abyss? Raised by War. Alright, so we can't trigger Akshan yet. We still need to set up for the Zephyr Sage next turn. We're just waiting one more turn. Yeah, always. So I think I can just Sonic Wave now after combat. That looks good. And it should always both be on Akshan in case he does something that makes me want to hook, I guess. I don't really see what that could be. All right. And we're about to draw 3, so we're going up to a 10 card hand, which is perfect. All right. As he gets a second level champion from Howling. Wait, isn't he at a 10? He's burning his top deck. The Riven Blade Fragment plus the Howling. All right. And we have basically everything. As soon as he plays Scargrounds, it's over. No, I can just palm infinitely. We're fine. Oh! Oh! Jarvan! All right, that's pretty funny. That is pretty funny, I'll admit. All right. So I think this looks good. I don't need to block with the other eye. Actually, I might want to make the board space. The board space might matter more. Is this even the best way to protect my Akshan? I need to be able to Zephyr this turn, right? Now, Zephyr's kind of important next turn for going off. No, I want to go off this turn no matter what, right? So I should always just recall. Yeah, this is better. Oh, but my hand is actually too full. If I do this, I actually won't get the return. So I can just do the vanilla recall and I will still have enough. I will go down to 0 mana. Can I possibly need mana here? I don't have a second Navori Conspirator. I think I'll try this. I think this is fine. Use the cheap recall. I don't need to be going in this turn, but I want to see what happens when I do. It obviously might lead to me losing, but I want to try to go in this turn and see if like I can just chain out, just to test it. Let that auction die. Yeah, I mean I could also just let that auction die. There's no reason for me to go in this turn in this game, but in other games there will be reasons for me to do that. So I just go Akshan now. I can get another Horde off of the Grappling Hook being 0. I can get another recall. I might be too dependent on my top decks, actually. I might be too dependent on my top decks. I guess I can't. Yeah, my hand is literally too full at that point. You can only play 15 of a single spell. Yeah, I guess I do just have to go next turn. So I'll just like waste these palms out of my hand is the only thing. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I can't flip the Horde this turn because it's fleeting. This is definitely a spot where Promising Future, the mana difference between Zephyr Sage and Promising Future actually does make a difference here. Like, Promising Future would have been able to have us go off this turn, which in some similar matchups would have actually mattered for sure. So, I mean, I always want to use the Akshan before the Zephyr Sage. I'm just getting, like, triggers faster. I guess it's costing me potentially 1 more mana, though. And the 1 mana can never make a difference here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't matter, right? We have enough cycles for both Akshans. Yeah, this doesn't change anything. We're getting another strike. Perfect. All right, so now I Zephyr Sage the Sentinel. We're gonna be a little tight on hand space this time around, but we should be fine. We should be okay. All right, and here we go. This is it. We're infinite. All right. Droplet's nice. Curves for nothing. Getting out of my hand for 0 mana is exactly what I want here. And we're just going to do enough spam triggers. We're one short, but yeah, the Zoe. Zoe shouldn't do anything here. Zoe shouldn't do anything here. So Fount of Power. We have the other 0 mana auction off of Rite of Calling. So here's the trick. To be able to win now without Zilean, we need our Zephyr Sage to die now. And we're not going to use the Zephyr Sage again. So I can actually just Rite of Calling it now. All right. And just make sure we're drawing more auctions. We just want to cycle enough through this draw. If I have another Conspirator, we're gaining more value. All right, so I can get the Scrying Sands out of my hand. And we can get the other Conspirator on top of the deck. Now we're just looking for a single draw, and we can get that guaranteed off of Conspirator into Droplet. We don't want to play the other auction yet because that's getting us the other Horde. And now, when this Horde is completing, we've got Conspirator onto Conspirator, which will just complete this Horde no matter what. And we can make enough hand space for it by playing the Droplet. So Conspirator on Conspirator. He's got his level champions. I don't have the infinite time bombs this time. I'm pretty sure we can win without them. I don't think they could be necessary. All right. So the Conspirators will just freely get me to this last card. I am gonna need, I think, one more discount, no matter what. So 10th card, Sentinels Horde. Now we play the auction with just enough board space to get back our second Horde. That's not really our second one. We go for one more discount. We don't need more than this last one. Toss in a Karma emo now. Lead and follow. So that's a potential win condition. We're gonna need one last one. So we can Scrying Sands just to get out of our hands. Got more Zephyr Sages. We don't need more Zephyr Sages though, right? I don't think it can make a difference at that point, right? Sure, whatever. All right, so the lead and follow. The Zephyr Sage can be 0 off of the Absolver's Return. We need to just trigger one more off of our Conspirator. So we do the Conspirator chain again. See, the thing is, do we even need Monk when this is happening? What if I just cut Monk? No, because Monk is how the 0 mana Zephyr Sage is actually going to get us there. I'm going to need board space. I do need to kill off one of my units, but I do have an attack token this turn still. And I can Sonic Wave. Lethal in 200 moves. Wait a second. All right, how do you close games? Oh, we're closing the game all right. All right, so we have a 9-card hand. We're getting the Absolver's Resurrection, which will replenish to a 10 after using it. All right, in theory, there's no reason this wouldn't be perfectly fine. So now, and this is why we don't need Zilean, now I can use this Horde on just the Absolver's Resurrection. This one will replace itself for the Zephyr Sage that we killed off earlier, and it's a 0 mana Zephyr Sage. And now our Zephyr Sage should be able to trade down infinitely into this board. But we are going to need to make some space in this hand. We are going to need to make some space in this hand and on this board. So what I can do now is I can get another, I can resummon Auction. Let's just Sonic Wave this. Yeah, I think the Auction can kill itself. I think it's fine. Grappling hook one of these. It's not actually gonna matter. Wait for it. God, I could mess this up. This extra combo without Zilean is a lot more convoluted. So to be able to make enough hand space, at this point, we do have to use our 0 mana Zephyr Sage. We can override one of our units for free, right? The Solitary Monk is gonna be fine here. So we override one of these useless ones for free, and it should stay 0 mana. We can create a copy of Lead and Follow, and now we should have an infinite engines of leads and follows. And with enough lead and follows, there shouldn't be any way he can win anymore. Yeah, there can't be. Because the Zephyr Sage should still be 0 mana after returning it. I think. I'm actually not 100% sure. This one might be a little weird. But now I can just Flawless Duet. And eventually this will kill him. This will eventually kill him with enough of these Blade Dances. You know, the regen Braum will summon a lot of Poros, but it's one turn. So this Braum will eventually run out of health. So it doesn't matter that it's summoning these mighty Poros every time. It will literally run out of health. So like an hour from now, he'll die. Okay? So I've got 2 monks. I've got an 8-card hand. I'm 1 off of being able to get rid of this. I need to get more hand space. I can use just the first Navori on the Zephyr right now, right? God, how do I actually free up more space? How can I just like discard a card? I think the only way I can do that is just by like returning Akshan, right? Just use a return on Akshan. Hang on, let me do a little bit more. Okay, so wait, let me retreat Akshan. Just stun Braum. I mean, I could stun Braum, but this is a lot funnier. All right, so there's the Akshan. Now we have enough board space. I can actually override something with Solitary Monk. I'm getting 4 back in my hand on a 6-card hand, so Monk can just replace the Zephyr Sage and it won't overdraw me a single card no matter what. Actually, oh man. the fact that Droplet's on my board. How can I override Droplet? The Droplet is actively screwing me here. Wait. I think I need to make another room with the Akshan. I need to make another room with the Akshan so I can fix my hands. Just attack with Droplet to kill it. Yeah, I might have to use my attack token here. It might be the safest thing to do because I can challenge into a vulnerable. I don't think I can possibly need the attack token after this. So I think the thing to do is to just free up as much board space as humanly possible by just trading off these 2 units. These are ones I can't need. I don't need more draw. In fact, if I have the Droplet on my board, I only have 12 cards left on my deck. But I'm not going to be drawing much more after this. So it doesn't matter that I have 12 cards left on my deck. This is perfectly fine. All right. Freeing up board space, which is perfect. Now there's nothing stopping me from just like getting free monk value. The sequencing shouldn't matter at this point, and the Zephyr Sage should be 0 mana. All right, the Zephyr Sage is not 0 mana. That is gonna make this take even longer. Jesus Christ. All right, so now that the Zephyr Sage isn't 0 mana, so when you use the Absolver's Resurrection, that mana decrease does not persist through a recall, which means we might have to burn through basically our entire deck here. So we play the Akshan again. It's okay, we'll make it 0 mana eventually. Guys, it will happen, all right? Because we're not gonna overdraw our deck. We just need to discount a few more times to get to the 0 mana Zephyr Sage. We'll discount a couple more times, okay? And we have more than enough cards in our deck. Once we get to the infinite lead and follows, it won't matter anymore, right? Once we get to the infinite lead and follows. Yeah, nothing else will matter. There's no way he can possibly survive this. I am finishing this game. If this guy's gonna sit here and let me, I will absolutely finish this game. This is so stupid. You can just keep shuffling more Akshans in? Yeah, I can just keep shuffling more Akshans in, even if I was gonna mill myself. All right. I need to see this to its conclusion, guys. These lead and follows, this death of 1,000 fucking stabs with the Flawless Duet will actually eventually win us the game. We just need to get to 0 mana Zephyr Sages. That's all. It's not a hostage deck. Guys, this isn't a hostage deck. We're eventually killing him. It's just gonna take like 50 minutes. Wait, all right. So we finished the second horde. We have actually targeted. I mean, I can just use grappling hook here. That's perfectly fine. This will actually be a little bit faster just doing it like this. Just damaging the Braum now while I can. All right. And that will create a new horde. Okay. Fountain of Power. This is our 5th Fountain of Power this turn. So all of our Zephyr Sages are 2 mana now. Guys, I'm close. I'm getting there. Wait. I could also just stun the Braum this turn. All right. I'll stun the Braum later, guys. We're just killing this. The Braum is dying. I don't have to stun a single thing. Good. I could still mess this up at any moment, which is really funny. All right. 10 cards left. Once the Zephyr Sages are 0, then we're good. At that point, I'll move in. Wait. Jesus Christ. Better APM. I'm trying. The game engine is clamping my APM, guys. I've got sick APM. You just can't tell. Like, almost all of what you're seing is just animations. Look, it's actually like slowing down. You guys see these animations? It's getting like buggy. There's like a memory leak or some shit. Look, it just takes like several seconds now every time. The game might actually crash before I get done with this game. All right, so this completes the 6th horde this turn. And now, with just one more spot in this hand, with just one more spot in this hand, we can use the palm at this point. The palm isn't going to make any amount of difference. Okay. And now we have the 10 cards we need. So I've got so much room in my deck. I'm never milling myself. All right, use the last horde. We're back up to 10. And now our Zephyr Sages is 0 mana. And now we can just start killing this guy, right? There's nothing stopping us from killing him. So Rite of Calling is a perfect way to just get rid of this. I actually, no, it's a lot faster to end this game if that's on my board, to be honest. And now my 0 mana Zephyr Sages can just start cloning the lead and follows, which can start getting themselves out of the hand. All right, perfect. There's the lead and follow. And I won't need to reapply Akshan's horde anymore. I actually don't need any more hordes. The hordes don't do a single thing. All right, I might have filled my hand a little too much. It's fine, guys. Whatever. The most efficient way is to just make sure I'm stunning everything. Is there something I can do to overflow this? I guess the safest thing to do is to just get the retreat returns out of this hand. All right. Almost. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So we can use Conspirator without its summon ability. We actually have nothing to use return on. That's really funny. Rite of Calling. I think Rite of Calling at this point, just to clear out my Akshan so that I can use return on the other Akshan, has to make the most sense. Because I'm actually having too much of a hand space issue here. So we'll just kill our Akshan here. All right, we'll draw one of the other Akshans. Yeah, this frees up the maximum hand space. All right, the lead and follows. So I'll return the Akshan now. Wait. All right, the horde animations will make the game slow down again. Shit, you're right. All right, now if I use Solitaire Monk, I'm on a 6-card hand, so it'll actually take me back up to a full hand, which means I can start the lead and follow process now. So I do the Zephyr Sage on the lead and follow, and now I have enough room in this hand that his entire board is going to be stunned. I just want to note, we didn't actually need to stun his entire board. We are winning this without doing that. It would have taken a lot longer. And honestly, even I have my limits. All right. I'm going to leave the Braum unstunned, actually. Technically, this is correct. It's not BM to leave the Braum unstunned. When you think about it, when you really think about it, wait, I can just use the Zephyr Sages on the Flawless Duet. That would actually be a lot faster if I just use the Zephyr Sages on the Flawless Duet, right? So I should do that instead. All right. Because we're putting him on a clock of 10 blades. All right, that's fine. And I'll use this on the monk, so it's perfect. We're putting him on a clock of 10 blades, so it would actually be extending the duration of this game. You have to recall. Yeah, but I have Solitary Monk, so it's fine. So here's one duet. All right. And it's... Oh, there's one. All right. So I can actually just use return to discard one of these Solitary Monks from my hands. I can't possibly need the other monk, right? Yeah, this is perfect. This is actually perfect. So this literally discards a monk from my hand. We use the other monk, just resetting the entire board and replenishing my entire hand. Everything's still 0 mana. I mean, there's no reason to need lead and follow, guys. Like, I'm recalling my entire board anyway. Lead and follow would just make this game take even longer. All right, hang on, we're getting there. This is actually faster than I thought it would be. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna be hearing fucking Saxman in my dreams tonight. But I've come too far at this point. All right, so we just go all in for this. All right, it's the ultimate popcorn deck. All right, we're getting there, dude. It's you and me together. All right, solitary monk again. Back to hand. Okay, one more monk cycle. Soon this will all be over. All right, 3 more duets. Riot will have enough time to hotfix this before you kill this dude. Wait, that's true. Wait, actually, dude, they're probably gonna do it in the next literal day. The thing is, if they have a single tough or a single fury, it's not good enough. Because I've got 2 blade dances, guys. And also I do have like infinite stuns and shit. Alright. And oh, the last horde. Jesus, this horde is actually making everything lag so much more. Alright. I don't have to play the last stage anymore. This is it. This is all we need. Dude, if I use all 3 duets, what if he's holding onto a brittle steel? Alright. Jesus Christ. Alright. Honestly, I agree with you guys. This guy was such a champ. This guy was such a champ. Great Blanco. Thank you very much. This was great. I had a lot of fun. You got it, buddy. It just would be unethical. It would be unethical for me to actually kill his Nexus at that point. I do have to give him the win. I do have to give him the points. All right, let that be a lesson. Didn't even win. All right, guys, but that's it. That's the fucking this new stupid infinite combo. I know some people like, I mean, I've messed around with the PNZ version. I built a PNZ version and I played it earlier. I mean, maybe I'll come back to it and maybe I'll try harder to refine it, but I didn't really like where like Shurima PNZ ended up. I think that the way to do infinite with Akshan is definitely in Ionia, and this is a very, very close version. Like this one feels like it's being the most reliably disgusting for that game plan. All right. So get it while it's hot, because this deck will literally not exist in... So how many hours did it take them to fix the first infinite Zephyr Sage combo I did? It took them literally, I think it was less than 48 hours. It was about 48. It was about 2 days. Maybe, yeah. No, they're gonna be very fast about this. They're gonna be very fast about this. Like, this might already be nerfed by the time you guys are watching this, if you're watching on YouTube. Like... But yeah, get it while it's hot. I mean, I don't actually like abuse like the hostage potential for like ranked games. This I don't think has any like ranked hostage implications. There's always better ways of doing that if that is the goal. But yeah, it's definitely by far the slowest infinite combo deck.